Good morning, everyone. So I'm here. I promised you guys I would come here. I had to go in about this, right? I love you guys. So let me see. I tried to set this all up. I never went live from another page. So let me see. I gotta refresh this. Let me know if you're here. I hope I can see you guys. I want to be able to see like comments and stuff. Okay, it looks like it's working just like my page. You know me, I got some palo. Good morning, Melanie. I love you, girl. I love you, girl. So if you come on, say hi to everybody. I never went live from somebody else's page. Now let me see if I can share this to my page. I'm working this technology. See, there's always something to work on, guys. I love you. All right, it's working. Let me see, I can't see. If this is spelled wrong, it's because I totally can't see it at all. My phone's hooked up, my computer's in the back. So, I got some shout outs today for some special people that I really, really love. Shout out, first of all, to Listening to Smile. Thank you, Ian and Dana. You keep me in the vibes. I've been in the vibes since this morning. Setting healthy routines. Anna was just talking about that the other day in one of the live groups about how it's up to us to set these routines in our life. It's up to us to take control of our lives and what are we going to do to heal and to grow and to learn from things that we've been through. I love you, right? So shout out to Listening to Smile, listeningtosmile.com, Ian Morris. That's the frequency that I have on right now. So it is defining a future. The world exists to set you free. That's really deep, right? So most people think that they're like trapped in the world, right? But people who vibe with me, you know, we tend to change that a little bit and think different. And so this is October's new track. And so I couldn't be more excited. You know, I get my emails from Ian and Dana, and I just love it because they're intending on going with the energy of the planet, right? Which is exactly what I'm trying to help you with in my coaching, which is exactly the way I talk. And I just love it because they couldn't be more on with where they're at whenever they do this, right? And so, you know, the world exists to set you free is pretty amazing, CD. So thank you. Hey girl, if you love the music that goes on in the background, I put it in the comment. I put it all in there. I put all the information in there. But it's listeningtosmile.com, code Sarah Richardson 19, and then that gets you 40% off, I do believe. If you're in my area, the Pittsburgh area, we have a big event going on October 13th, 12th and 13th in the Pittsburgh area. So get in touch with me. I tried to message everybody that I knew in the area that I thought would be interested in it, but it's at Yoga Flow Studio in Shadyside, and I'm so excited. So Ian got together these sonic meditations, and Ian and Dana are amazing because Ian does the music and Dana does the flow and the breath through the yoga. It is so amazing. This is the cheapest event they ever had. It's $5 if you pre-order your ticket, $10 whenever you get there. Thank you, Dana and Ian, for, you know, having me on your journey. I just absolutely love you guys. I want to say thank you to Jessica, one of my best friends at Mila Jai Boutique. I shared that also on my page. So it was just my little sister's birthday. And so I went to buy her a purse and I got this yoga bag. Oh my God. So I can put my yoga bag in here. Love it. There's all kind of people out here right now expressing their love, right? So I just talked about music. I just talked about bags, right? I got my friend Kerry. She makes Alpine soap, Alpine Made. I shared the link in here. She got me in some blueberry lavender soap, guys. This journey is all about loving you. All about loving you. I got my green drink today. Cheers. Green drink, green drink. That's from theforgottenfoods.com. This is the Miracle Emerald Greens. Love it. It doesn't even taste bad. And it fires you up like at a cellular level. So energy, frequency, vibration, quantum physics. All this stuff I'm going to talk to you guys about today, it's all about pumping you up at a cellular level, right? So a lot of us don't know what to do, what we need, what's going on, what's spinning around in the planet, right? We're just knowing that something's off, and I love you. If you know that something's off, I totally love your fucking guts, right? So, guys, I want you guys to get involved in this and be involved in this and talk to me. So this is like the inner child and the energetic body, and we're going to break that down. We're going to talk about that today. So if you guys don't know me, when I work at my desk, I keep a sandbox. I'm not going to show you because I would like mess up my whole setup. But I'm literally have my feet in the sand right now. Seashells in there, all kinds of stuff. You have to do what you love. You have to do what you love. When you are working for yourself and when you're creating for yourself, every single thing that you love comes together and it all makes sense, right? Okay, so for the inner child, anybody out here that knows about like children and psychology and like all that jazz, they say to you that the formative years of growing as a child are between 0 and 7. Has everybody heard that? You know what I'm talking about? So, you know, from that time, 0 to 7, 0 to 15, 0 to whatever, big things can and have happened to a lot of people, right? Me included. But guys, you know, it was a low vibration. So when our grandparents were being raised, when our parents were being raised, when we were being raised, it was a very low frequency that was on the planet, right? And a lot of people will say, you know, what does that mean? It was heavier. It was more of a masculine frequency, right? And so it was a very low vibration. It was a very what you see is what you get vibration. It was a very not really believing too much in God or universe or anything like that, but feeling like you as a human had to kind of like muster and struggle through life, right? You know, look back at your grandparents, look back at your parents and see, you know, their work ethic, their family ethic, their energy, how, you know, how did they keep up with their days and their work and their body and the way they love themselves and took care of themselves. Look into that kind of stuff, right? And today, I am not talking about the inner child to scare you. Okay, so I have a coaching group. We do all kind of fun stuff. I work with people in my community. I work with people on here, right? And me and my personal work, I have learned, it is scary. When you think about your inner child and when you think about going back to this inner child, that can be some really scary shit. So I send you so much love just for being on here, all right? But I don't want you to go into this work to be afraid. And actually, the way that I have done this work and practiced this work myself, you know, I'm always trying to make these things that seem so hard and so out of reach, I'm trying to make them simple for you guys. Like, so everyone can do it, right? And one of the big things is you have to beat the fear of it, right? And so, like, a lot of people will ignore inner child work because they're afraid to go back to that time, to go back to that space, those hurts, those things that happen, because it's nasty. It's a nasty space. We work so hard to get out of that, right? Well, what a lot of people do is they don't really work hard to get out of it. They run from it. And so by running from it, it's like you're ahead of it, but it's always trailing behind you. It's always coming behind you. And that's some really rough stuff, right? Because these things keep coming up and you keep doing these things and you're wondering, why does this keep happening to me? What am I missing out here, right? And what happens is, like, your inner child turns into this like inner brat that is, you know, just wanting attention, wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard, full of emotions and just, you know how kids do sometimes, that inner brat stuff. This journey for me has been a getting to know myself, getting to really get deep inside myself. And there's so many different ways you can go, and there's so many things that you can do, and that's what's beautiful about this. But one of the things that I really love is collapsing the wave. Did you guys ever hear of collapsing the wave? Because if you're a creator, if you're a manifester, these are the things we're doing, right? So the things we are told that the things that happen in 3D, as soon as they happen, that collapses, and that's a time for a new creation. All the atoms and particles can come together in a whole different way. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? I don't know. Just say if you know. If you don't know, that's fine too. I am a nerd, right? By collapsing the wave, we get to repaint or recreate life. And I love that, right? So I dove into quantum physics because to me, that was how you do that, right? And it was like all these, I went to class for like 2 years on quantum physics. And I remember this guy I dated, his parents were doctors, and he was just like, this is what you do. I don't know about it at all, but like it fascinates me. I used to come home. He lived far away from me, and I used to tell him about my classes and the things that I would learn. He comes from like a deep medical background, and here I am bringing like the energetic stuff in. He's like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. It's just a funny part of the journey, right? And so have fun on your journey, enjoy it. But when you're collapsing the wave, it's like you can't see it, but you can feel it, right? And so like I'm an energetic feeler. I don't really label myself too much. As I get older, I get to know my gifts, just like you guys, right? And so I've always been a feeler. Like I can feel it better than I can explain it. I can navigate it because I can feel it, but sometimes like in order to explain it, I have to like write it all out for you guys. So people label things good and bad, right? I don't really believe so much in good and bad. I believe everything happens, the love and the doo-doo, and it's this big collective ball of energy for a reason way deeper than we understand, right? And so, bad stuff can feel like heavy and like painful and tired and like stuck, right? And good stuff can feel like silly, light, different, funny, fun, right? And so, you have this energetic body, and your energetic body is really neat, right? So it has everything to do with you as a whole, right? And it has everything to do with where you came from and what you're passing on, right? This is a body that we cannot see. And so what happens is when we're all growing in our mom's bellies, right? We grow, our energetic body forms to, most of the time, our mother, but a mixture of our mother and father's energetic body, right? And so, the anatomy of babies. And so when you see like in their development in the womb, when you see the different things that they're forming in their physical bodies, in their energetic bodies too, what is also forming, right? If you know energy. But if you don't know energy, then you don't really get this part, right? And so, a lot of people will say that there are crystals everywhere, that there are these demons, right? Well, and I, if you guys follow me, if you guys know me, I don't really so much believe in demons. But what I do, I know what your guys are talking about as far as the energy goes, right? And so to me, these are more of like a necessary evil, and like an energetic flare, right? And, their fear and guilt and shame and grief and lies and illusion and attachment, right? And so those are the demons that people talk about that get caught in, that blocked up in the energetic body, sometimes before we even have our physical human bodies here on earth, right? So as we're growing in our mother, we are growing to her energetic demons, I guess you'd say, or necessary evils, right? And so, whatever your mom or your grandma had gone, because your grandma passed it to her mom, you'll see this in your family. If you start to look into yourself and into your family, you really start to understand yourself, I'm telling you, right? So chakras broke down, right? So, you form, as you know how you grow different physical things in your body as you're growing in your mother's womb. Well, as you do that, you're also, as the physical is growing, that's because the energetic body is growing. So between, like, in the belly to about 6 months to a year of being born on this physical earth, that's when the root is really growing, right? And really, like, building. Like, first you just have this, like, beam of light, this rainbow, but this is where you start to learn and mimic vibrations, plus the vibrations that you're already carrying from the things unspoken, right? And so this is a time when the root is forming up from in the belly to 1 year to promote the child's embodiment of his or her physical form by using touch, holding, and nurturing, right? And so that's a lot of that is going on in that time. Physical needs, playing with them, establishing trust through bond and consistency, right? And so when you look at that right there, the root, right? So some people, because of what they've been through, when they are growing their babies in their body, they don't get much touch, right? They don't get that in their lives, right? And so then they have their babies, and maybe they don't touch their babies very much, and maybe they don't hold them very much, or maybe they don't know how to be nurturing, right? That doesn't mean that you're a bad person or you're a bad parent. We're all coming from a very masculine vibration, so we're all learning this. Like, talking about the energetic body did not used to be the norm. They used to call us witches and they used to kill us, right? But we're just trying to show you how to love yourself. Love yourself. They didn't promote loving yourself like Anna and Ascended Elders Live Group. Thank you for doing this. This is promoting love. No wonder I had to get out of my mom at 31 weeks. Yeah, I mean, Bridget, it's really deep stuff. And, I'm sending so much love to your mom and to your grandma because, like, it's just so deep. It goes so deep, and there's no one to blame. And so then, your sacral chakra. So your chakras, your energetic body runs up your spine, Roy G. Biv, right? And so the sacral chakra is forming between 6 months and 18 months of life, right? And so that's whenever you're introducing loving separation into your child's life, helping them to safely explore the world through senses and reflect emotions in positive ways, right? A lot of our parents didn't really know how to do that. A lot of our parents didn't really know how that worked, right? And so just by being a little off, maybe in their emotions or something that they're carrying on, right, that will cause an offness in us. The solar plexus between 18 months and 3 years of age, right? And so that's encouraging self-esteem by supporting autonomy, rational, informed decisions, and celebrating independence, provide choices and appropriate discipline. Now, I didn't really get this. Like, I studied energy work for 13 years, and I didn't really get this until I had my baby. And then I started to look into my energetic body and her energetic body and how that's how I am, right? And so, the solar plexus and the sacral, that's also a part of the womb space and the spaces that just come naturally, the things that just come naturally just from being connected to the umbilical cord, right? And so a lot of our parents held stuff there, and you can tell by like bloated bellies. That's like an armor of protection that people have up. So, if your parents have bloated bellies, send them some love because they need womb healing, right? Now, the heart chakra works in at about between 4 and 7 years, right? And this is how to behave in relationships, which requires empathy, a sense of morality, explaining how relationships work, organized friend dates. Now, you know, I get a lot of messages about relationships, and I see a lot of relationships, and I see a lot of people being very off in their relationships, and that's that heart chakra space, right? And a lot of that is formed from ages like 4 to 7, right? Then your throat area is from 8 to 12 years old. So that's getting stronger, and and as we're learning these things, we're mirroring the people that are closest to us in our lives. So, you know, that's why a lot of people say that I'm just like my stepdad. Oh shit, 1111. And that's because energy mirrors. So like as I was little, you know, my mom met him when I was like 4 years old, right? And so, you know, that's where I started mirroring how he was living in his life, because he was in my life every day, right? So between the 8 and 12 years with the throat, that's where you support communication, stimulate creativity, even while introducing the child to the greater world, the things outside. You know, this is where 8 to 12 years old, your child's starting to open up, go away from you a little bit more. Third eye is adolescence, assisting adolescents with developing self-identity, creating safe havens for independence with clear boundaries. And then the crown is like early adulthood and beyond. Stimulate questions, offer spiritual choices, provide educational opportunities, and let them go. It's time for them to fly, right? And so when you look at the energetic system and how it grows, and what you were mimicking and what they came from, can you understand now, just by those little things, a little bit more about the energetic body and how it forms as you're a child? I hope you guys do. You aren't saying too much. maybe, I don't know. It's different being on somebody else's page. All right, so, you know, the energetic body makes such a big difference, and this is the thing that nobody really ever was able to talk about, right? You know, I raised my baby quite different than the norm expects me to raise my baby, because I know about this stuff in the energy. I know what you know, I might not do everything right, but I'm trying to support her feelings, and I'm trying to, you know, now she's 4, so I'm trying to teach her about relationships and healthy relationships, and have friend dates, and, you know, how relationships are supposed to work. These are the things, as you see your child, you see that this is just naturally where they energetically are, and that when you have a hard time with your child, it's like you're off in that space. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we've all been off. We've all not really known about this, right? And so that's why I try to take the energetic body, break it down to the inner child, and then we're going to do this inner child meditation together, so you guys can see that it's not really as big of a deal as people make it seem. So don't let me get wordy on you. I'm trying to keep this super simple. So, like, okay, so we talked a little bit about the demons, right? And I want to break those down a little bit more so you guys can get what happens when this vibration is inside of you, instead of the clear vibration that's supposed to be in the energetic space, right? So in your energetic chakras, they can be clear, free flowing, how they're supposed to. They move all different ways, right? Up, up, up. And then, or they could be blocked, which causes some kind of dis-ease in the physical body. So the energy is at dis-ease in the energetic body, which will create that in your physical body. And so your physical body is going to be the one that's normally going to get your human's attention. Like, shit, man, something's off in here. I'm glad I caught your live. I need to hear this. Much cast the rest of this later. I love you, Bridget. It'll be here. Any questions, just message me, please, because this is my favorite stuff. I've been going really, really deep in inner child work. I've been doing it now pretty heavy for like the past, say 2 months every day. So all of August and all of September, every morning before I wake up. And so I don't come to you guys ever and talk to you about some shit I don't do. Some of it has been really tough, but my advice to you is, when it feels tough, you gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. This whole entire journey is self-love, right? All right, so let's talk about these necessary evils that we face in our lives. Fear. Fear is evoked when survival is threatened. It can force energy from the lower to the higher, right? So a lot of people that are in fear, you know, maybe your mom or your grandma, their survival was threatened. Maybe you had a good life, but your grandma's survival was really threatened. And you don't even understand where you get this because you have a good life, right? You carry this energetically. So when we say that you're healing for your ancestors and things like that, as you let that go in you, that comes out for her too, energetically, the things you can't see, right? And so anytime your survival is threatened, that's going to evoke that fear, right? And so every time as a functioning adult that you're walking around here and something is threatening your survival, it could be from the smallest thing to the biggest thing, that fear is going to pop up, right? And you're going to respond from that inner child, that inner brat of that fear, right? If you don't go in there, you don't find it, clear it out, collapse the wave, and clean it up, right? Guilt prevents us from reaching toward others, obstructing emotional and sexual bonding. Can you see that in yourself or anyone around you? You know, that's passed on. That happens from trauma, different things that go on in our lives, right? Shame deters spontaneity, self-esteem, and our sense of personal power, can implode willpower, so it can feel like, you know, the divine is working against us instead of like in our favor, right? That comes from shame. And that could not even be your shame. That could be your ancestors' shame. Something that they went through that you never even heard of before in your life, right? Grief dampens love and the light in our hearts, causes us to feel burdened, right? Has anyone ever felt these things, right? These are the demons that everyone tries to get you afraid of. These are the things that everyone says has these bloody, gnarly teeth. It's not that. It's these simple, energetic things that really get you fucking off in your life. And I love you, and you're fine. Like, when you get in these things, I don't call them demons or evil necessaries. I call them the doo-doo. It's the shit. Lies. Misinformation that keeps us from relating to the world. And so, you know, somebody, you know, I had a big thing inside of me about even lying to my baby about Santa Claus. So, you know, these things go really, really deep, or they're really, really surface stupid. Illusions. When we see situations inaccurately, we miss the big picture and cannot perceive the truth. It's fucked up, man. Attachment. Holding on to something or someone when it's pointless and impedes our relationship with the divine. Now, that's one of the biggest things to me. So, I'm into chakras, I'm into energy work, I'm into healing, alkalizing the body, using the vibrations to get you on a cellular level, right? But my number one has been my relationship with God. And you can call it whatever you want. I call it God, right? This is something that I've been working on my whole entire life. This is my personal path. I'm not here to push anything on you. I love you and honor you and respect you for whatever it is that you do. But when you form a relationship with the divine, that sets the tone for every single other relationship you have in your life, whether it's your girlfriends, your guy friends, your family, your co-workers, your neighborhood, your community, right? And it's a lot of lessons, and it's a lot of learning about you, and it's a lot of learning how to forgive yourself and love yourself and empower yourself and set routines for yourself and inspire yourself and speak for yourself and build foundations for yourself, right? This stuff is huge. And God will teach you however you need to learn, however you get the message, however you need it, right? That's what's so cool about this. It's like the teacher that knows everybody's learning style, that knows exactly what every heart has been through and needs to carry forward. It's amazing, right? So if you guys know me, I'm always saying we attract that of which we vibrate, right? So, but we also grow and raise our kids in that vibration, in our internal vibration, right? So, you know, you have your physical body and you have your energetic body, right? And both of those mimic your parents. Most of the time your mom, because that's who grew you. That's whose womb you sat up in for 10 months and grew. So, you know, you're mimicking her physical and energetic body. So, like, say it's the time in the womb where the kidneys are forming, right? And say your mom has a little disease, not even a lot, right? She doesn't, nothing diagnosed, nothing found. Say she has a little disease in her kidneys. As your kidneys grow, they're growing by mimicking the vibration of her kidney, right? So she's a little off. So when you grow your kidney, it's a little off. Now you're 22 years old and you have some sort of kidney disease, and they're telling you can't get rid of it, you have to take this medicine and all this stuff. All you got to do is go in there and get your energetic body in line. That disease will come at ease and you'll be okay. And then in doing that, energetically, you're helping your mother maybe learn how to do that, maybe start to try to how to do that. You're starting to make her see the picture different, right? So I see a lot of people are especially irritated in the womb. So I work with healing frequencies. I do body work, I do massage work, and I work with healing frequencies. Been working with them for, 8 years now, right? Linked up with Ian, listening to Smile, love my journey. But what I notice the most is a lot of people are really aggravated in the 528, in the womb space, right? They'll turn on the frequency and it'll bother them. It'll feel like bothersome, like nails on a chalkboard. This is the 528 right now. The state of allowing. I love it. So if it irritates you, that's womb stuff. I love someone in my group we were talking all about this, right? And what this is like, this is the space where everything unsaid went to the womb space. Like all the secrets, all the doo-doo, right? This is like the place where it all went, and you can see it in people's bellies. You know, we've been tucking and storing here from way, 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 way back, right? And then we've been passing it on, not knowing energetically that we were passing these things on, even though they were like hush-hush in the family. So guys, this is not your parents' fault. What you're going through is not your parents' fault. It's not your parents' fault. We all come from some kind of fucked up. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. You know, some is better, some is worse, depending on your perception and how you see through or around that situation. I love the energetic body. Fell in love with quantum physics. You know, quantum physics is like nature at the smallest scale. So it's like the atoms and the subatomic particles. Fell in love with The Secret, Rhonda Byrne. Learned about the laws of attraction, went deeper. Learned into the spiritual laws, right? Laws of nature, divine oneness, vibration, correspondence, attraction, inspired action, perpetual transmutation of energy, cause and effect, compensation, relativity, polarity, rhythm, gender. This all made sense to me whenever you look at the body as a whole, right? We're not just this one way and this one personality. Neither our parents and neither our ancestors and all the people that came before us. There's a lot going on that makes up a person. Plus you got the doo-doo, the fears, the shame, the guilt, the crap like that, right? So a lot of times the only thing really, the way that I see it is like we're just living out of tune with nature, like the natural vibration, right? So if our energetic systems are off, then how do we get on? It's like little stuff you can do, right? I'm always sharing tips and tricks of how to get your energetic body on. I do so much weird stuff, right? And it's setting routines in your life, putting you first, loving you first. Yeah, in loving you first, you go through some doo-doo? Yes. But loving you in that doo-doo. Being able to forgive you in that doo-doo, right? get to know yourself. If I can offer you any advice in this whole entire video, you know, my meditation is really fire, but I want you to get to know yourself. You know, forgive yourself, sort this shit out, set healthy routines for you in your life. You know, guys, I've been going deep onto the inner child for about 5 to 7 years now, right? I don't know if it's the vibrations. I don't know if it's the energy work. It was like all these realizations, these things that started clicking about growing up and my cousins, and I was analyzing everything. I had a good life. I had a really good life. But I knew, I had this deep knowing inside me that there was some kind of offness in the energy. Some kind of... The cat is in the sandbox. We cannot have that. That's Nanu. Say hi. There was some kind of offness in the energy that I grew up in, right? Didn't really know what it was. And I tried to blame things. You know, I tried to blame this and that. And I tried to figure it out with my human. But only whenever I was paying attention to what God was telling me did it even start to make sense or start to feel better or whatever, right? And so, you know, blaming people doesn't get you anywhere. You have to take accountability for yourself right now, in your shoes, right now, today. What can you do? What will you do? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to be accountable for in your life? You know, the input that you put into yourself is the work. It's work. So when you're doing this energy work and when you're doing this stuff, sometimes the silliest thing can get you tired. Love yourself. Rest in that space. Sometimes late at night, you might be up, wired, organizing, setting things into motion. Love you in that space, right? Sometimes you might sleep in because you were up too late creating. Love you in that space. Sometimes you've been eating alkaline all week and you just want to eat a cheesy pizza. Love you in that space. Sometimes you love someone so much and you cuss them out in the name of love. Love you in that space. Sometimes you push everyone away to go in. Love you in that space. Sometimes your inner brat comes out. Love you in that space, right? There's all kind of different things for different folks, different strokes for different folks. And so what I'm about to give you might not work for you, and that's fine, right? But I have done it all. I've been to anger management like 13 times as a teenager. Therapist. I got tons of energy work since I was 23, did yoga, meditation, breath work, right? I spent so much money trying to heal me. Felt tossed all around. I felt really defeated in this journey sometimes. And then I felt like these ultimate highs, right? And that's why I share it, because the highs make the defeat and the low times not feel that bad, right? And so I told you guys all August and September, I've been going through this inner child thing that I found that God brought to me, right? And I've been doing it every morning before I pop out of bed. So before my feet hit the floor, I get my earphones, put both my earphones in, turn on the 528, and I go in, right? All kind of stuff come up in this 2 months, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you. It was heavy sometimes. I cried sometimes. I felt like, why the fuck am I doing this sometimes? I felt like this is pointless sometimes. Like, what even is this? Am I even doing anything? Like, I feel like such a weirdo. Like, oh, like sometimes I'd be a little frustrated when I came out. Sometimes I feel light when I came out. But what I noticed is that looking back on it, you know, today, writing this out for you guys, it really started to set my tone for the day. So, like, every day you're going to have a lesson come up for your inner child to see if your inner child has passed that lesson and is ready to ascend, right? And so when you go in, right, you're learning to trust your intuition. And so when you go in and you do this inner child work, I guarantee you that it is going to have something to do with something that's going to come to you in your day. And over time, you're going to notice this. If you notice this, message me. It's really fun, right? And so it's basically like the lessons are always coming, but you're not always ready for the lesson. So you might think, okay, today I'm going to work on getting that money. This is what I'm going to do. But your lesson is trying to tell you something totally else. It might be about love. It might be about trust. It might be about rejection, isolation, right? All these different things that you can go through. But if you're focused on your money, you're not catching that lesson, right? You're bulldozing through the planet. And so doing this inner child work has been amazing for me, because it's easy for us, no matter how much healing we do, to fall into our inner brat, in our inner child brat, right? And so as you're going through life and things are coming up, you might have held a business meeting and act like a whole inner child brat. And they were probably in there like, what in the fuck just happened to her? Well, you're not focusing on your inner child. You're keeping it forward in the name of, I got to get this money, right? I got shit to do. I got to get this money. But your inner child needs attention. Your inner child is needing something. And that's why that is ruffling up in your energetic body. And that's what happens when your inner child brat comes out, right? And so, me giving this to you, I'm giving this to you because of the things that I've seen happen in my life with me doing it, right? And so, by these 2 months of making myself do this, when you're setting routines for your life, it's 30 days. Hey, boo! No days off. When you're setting routines for yourself, you don't get weekends. You put it in for 30 days and you make your ass do that shit for 30 days. So it becomes natural to your system, to your cells, to your muscle memory, to all that shit, right? So you don't take days off when you set routines for yourself. When I set routines for myself, I go in, I'm going 30 days strong, I'm doing this, right? And then you set that routine and then you just keep it moving, right? And so, I'm giving you this gem today, here soon, to fit it into your life, however it fits into your life. If you wake up at 5 in the morning and that's a good time, do it. If you wake up at noon and that's a good time, do it. If you take a lunch break every day at 3, do it then. If you go to bed at 5 after the gym, or however you need to fit this into your life, you need to figure out how to fit this gem into your life for 30 days or longer, right? I told you I've already been on this 2 months and I don't plan on quitting right now, right? Because you can go back into your childhood and you can collapse the wave and you can recreate from there. And so sometimes what I see now is by going back, when I first recreated when I collapsed the wave and recreated it, I was still kind of having like a little bit of fear lingering in there. And so now if the body signals me to go back to that same time, then I recreate it a little bit more specific. So you go from general when you're creating to more specific. And so, I don't know when I'll be done with my inner child work, but as I work on my inner child, my inner brat is like chilling. And that's why I want to share this with you. I try to find the words to make it as easy as I can because everybody gets all into the wordy words. I don't know the wordy words. I know the real life, live it, right? So you have to fit this into your life. 30 days makes a habit. Like I said, when forming habits, no days off. Go hard. Love yourself. Devote this time for yourself. Make it be about you. That's how you love yourself. That's how you start to love oh, I don't have time. You better make time. If you love yourself, you'll make the time. If you're kind of loving yourself and sticking your toe around in it, then you'll do it a little bit until you learn that you have to make the time for yourself. And that no days off, I learned that from my dad. And so when I'm talking inner child healing, I'm not saying, I hate my dad and I hate my mom and I blame them and their love and they're broken and all that. Like I said, guys, this is not your parents' fault. And we're going to heal this. We're going to heal this together. We can talk about it together. Please feel free if you do this and something comes up, message me. Everything that comes up is really normal. You'll feel all kind of ways. And I'll tell you guys how I do it, how I start it, and how I close it, right? So is everybody ready? Because we're about to do this inner child meditation. I love you guys. So I want everyone to sit comfortable wherever you are. Sit comfortable, chair, floor. I have my feet in the sand, however you like to do it, right? I want you to take a breath in and close your eyes. So take a deep breath in your nose. Take it all the way up. Breathe it all the way out and close your eyes. So we're going to take it back. We're going to clap some waves and we're going to recreate some stuff together. I'm going to show you how I suit up to go in. I want you to imagine a beam of light, white diamond light, shooting up out of your head about 300 feet up in the air. Take a deep breath in your nose, out your mouth. This is divine consciousness, y'all. Unconditional love. Now imagine this divine white light pouring down on you. Be a crown all around your eyeballs, in your head, your brain, your whole head, throat, chest, lungs, arms, fingers, torso, every organ in that torso, all around your hips, pelvis, down your legs and out your feet. Take a deep breath in. Imagine this light shooting from your feet down through the layers of the earth into the golden liquid core of the earth. You're connected to the gold. Imagine that golden light and divine light coming back up through the layers of the earth, through your feet, up your legs, all through your whole entire body, around every single organ, vein, cell, loving it all up, all the way up to your heart. Now, imagine shooting all that energy out your heart. It's going all around your body. It's beaming so much, it's going out of your house. Now it's so bright, it's going out of your state, out of your country, your planet. That's it, guys. You're fully connected, supported from above and below. That's how I suit up. Okay, now we're going to take 8 deep breaths in our nose and out our mouth with our eyes closed. Breath is life, guys. We're going to breathe it all the way up and all the way out, each breath. Are you ready? I'm going to do it with you because I love this breath work. Deep breath in the nose. Last one. I want you to focus in on your body. Anywhere that feels off, heavy, achy, needles, anything other than ease. Tune into that one area, take your awareness there, and ask that area, what does this have to do with my childhood? You might get your answer in words, in visions, symbols, however you get it. It's going to take you to a place. Go there. You may be there. You may be seeing it. You may be an observer. You may be hearing it. You may be seeing it like it's through a TV. Go with it. Go with wherever you're at. You want to let little you know that big you is there. Acknowledge little you. If they feel like they're not being seen in that place, let them know that you see them. If they feel like they're not being loved in that place, let them know that you love them. If they feel like they're not being heard in that place, let them know that you hear them and you are there. Let them know that you are there. Let little you know that it's okay to feel anything that they are feeling right now. Honor little you. Hug little you. Love little you, right? Give so much love to whatever little you is feeling about this thing, wherever this takes you, right? And I want you to ask little you if they are ready to do something fun with this. If they're feeling it, take them. If they're not feeling it, you have to tell them it's going to be all right. We're going to change this around for you. I'm here. I'm going to show you what we can do. I want you to, in your mind's eye, I want you to take that situation, and you're going to probably start this off very general. And I want you to make that situation into what big you's heart feels like it should be or should have been then. So you're going to recreate that. Take some time. Move things around, change it how you need to change it. If you're not really sure, be very general. This is a process. We can always go back again when the body takes us there, and reprogram this as you get better. Give little you a big hug. High five, some love. Take a couple deep breaths in your nose and out your mouth. Imagine golden love pouring down on you. That might have been hard for a lot of people. It might have been heavy. Imagine this golden love just coming and loving on you if it was tough, weird. Let it go all through you, all through all your organs, covering everything. You and little you just collapsed a wave together and recreated that, repainted that. I want you to open your eyes, come back to me, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. I love you guys for trying this. And like I said, try this for 30 days. If you need me, play this video. If you have a couple ways to make it cool for you, do that. The biggest thing that you do is you just do this for 30 days or more, right? You be brave enough to face this fear of going inside of yourself, collapsing old waves, feeling old feelings, and recreating old programs, right? I want you to write about your journey. I want you to write it down, the things that you've seen or the things that happened or the way it felt like to you or what your view of it was, how it worked for you, how it felt for you, right? Talk about it, message me, talk to people that you know are doing this together, get some people that you know and share this with them in your family, right? You could feel many, 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 many ways through this inner child healing. And I want you guys to love you no matter what you go through. You could feel tired. You could feel heavy. You could feel confused. You could feel weird. You could feel like this is pointless. You could feel lighter. You could feel like synchronicities are popping up. You could feel like conversations are getting a little deeper. I am here for you through it all, right? A lot of really weird stuff can get in and churn up, but what you're doing is you're starting to get in there and talk to your inner child And so then when the lesson comes up in your day, you're ready for it. You're going to see things come into your life through your family, through your friends, through your conversations, through the way you handle things or respond or react, right? Your family is going to open up in different ways. The kids are going to open up in different ways. Your friends are going to open up in different ways. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into this video. I'm going to find the exact time that I started the meditation so I can put it in the comments. So you guys will know. And please feel free to share this with anyone that you think needs it. I love you guys because we're all connected. I don't want you to be afraid to go into your inner child. You know, it's not a place of fear. Like, yes, some of us went through a lot of really heavy stuff. Yeah. You know, some of my coaching clients have went through heinous things that I couldn't imagine going through, right? And we've done it. It's not a place to go and wallow in what happened to you. It's a place to go, love that inner child, shut that shit down, and recreate for a better you. So you can love you better, so you can feel into all this better, so you can clear out these things in your energetic body, so you can heal your ancestors and heal your kids while healing you at the same time, the past, present, and future in the now. What I do is really weird, guys, but it works. I'm telling you, you know, like, I'm a completely different person than I was then, and it's not because of anything except for making myself go in, making myself do these things, making myself set routines for myself, making myself talk about this crazy shit. You know, that's the reason why I am how I am right now. And that's the reason why I can tell you guys that I love myself. I love you guys all because I love myself. I didn't understand all this. I paid probably over $5,000 trying to heal my inner child, all to get to the point to break it down to you like that for free right here in a video on a Facebook Live in the Ascended Elders group. I love you, Anna. You're the shit for this group. You know, when she first started this group, I was like, I mean, I don't know what to teach anybody, right? And as I kept sitting on it and I sent that question out to Spirit, all this inner child work started coming up for me, and I'm like, aha. But I had to really grasp it and feel it to be able to come and bring it to you guys. So I love you guys because we're all connected. If anything, you know, if anything comes up for you, please feel free to message me. And like I said, all my shout outs, I shared them in the video. I love you guys. You know, I started to always think up because we can change. We don't have to be stuck in the same patterns as our parents. We can heal. We can expand and evolve and ascend and live good lives. We can have inner peace. You know, peace, joy, and happiness. That's what your soul wants, and that's what it's pushing for. And that's why you're feeling these tugs with the vibration raised on the planet, because your soul now is pushing for inner peace more than it ever has before. That's why a lot of your family that comes before you doesn't maybe understand you right now. That's why these weird conversations are making a hell of a lot of sense. All right, guys. I love you because we're all connected. One love.